Hello, I would like to show you now another interesting utility that we can incorporate to our Excel workbooks. In this case, this is a workbook that can be accessed by several persons within an organization. All these persons have access to the workbook and have a right to change the content of it. So the problem is that sometimes we lose traceability of these changes. We don't know who did this change, when this change was done, what was there before, and so on. So for that, we have created this macro that makes a log of changes. To see how it operates, let's introduce some changes in a few cells. For example, these cells. And now let's see what happens in that log of changes. Let's go to Format, Sheet, Show, and we show the log of changes, because this log of changes is in a hidden sheet. The macro has created an entry for every change that we have done, and this database has the following information. We see the reference of the cell, we see the date and hour, we see the previous content, we see the new content, and we see the user who has performed the change. And we have all this information for every single change that has been performed in the workbook since it was created. So the interesting thing here is that this macro operates without the user knowing, without the user feeling any interference by the operation of the macro. It's very important, because otherwise it would be annoying if every time that we produce a change that we feel some macro running behind. But it doesn't happen. How is it done? Okay, let's see the editor of Visual Basic, and we see the macro here. This is the macro which is the basis of this log of changes. This has a very interesting characteristic. This macro is linked to an event. An event, in this case, is a change on the workbook. For every change, the macro is activated. And the macro simply gets some information related to the cell or the change that has been performed in the cell and introduces it in the database of the log of changes. So this is simply what it does. So in a very easy way, we can keep track of the changes of our workbooks. Thank you very much. Bye.